there were people whose name weren't put forward, and they didn't agree with that, right? They was like, oh, well, what about this person who wasn't put there? I think they meet the criteria. And the search firm was like, well, no, based on what the criteria was set, that person in that moment didn't meet the criteria, right? Mm-hmm. And the search firm man kept saying, I don't want to talk bad about nobody, right? And to me, that was code for something happened that, or something's a part of that man's file that I want to put him on blast for, and that's why his name didn't go forward. So why are you trying to add him to the list, right? And so it was just a lot of dysfunction that was happening during that meeting that to me makes no sense. And if, you know, they want to go forward with the process that they had, go ahead and interview this 5 people, because I don't think you should add nobody else, but I guess some names are going to be coming forward, and interview the people. And then if you don't want to hire any of them, then don't, and then explain to the public why, right? As opposed to open it. Because to me, it's like, for me, I think the fact that they want to open it up and look for more people is that most of the board don't like what their options are, right? It's not about the individuals not being qualified. I think they don't like their options, and they should just say that. They should absolutely just say that, right? Because, you know, and what's amazing to me, right? And then I know we have to end the show soon, because not only does Narnique have to go, I have a class I have to teach. Is that the way the prior board, which include several of the individuals, women that's on this board right now, broke their back to accommodate Dr. Vicky Cartwright, yep, is amazing to me, on how right now they're twisting themselves in a pretzel to avoid qualified people from getting the position, right? Because they literally changed the rules, broke their back, made excuses for this woman over and over again. And that's part of the reason why we're in the situation that we're in right now. But now all of a sudden they're trying to stick to the rules. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. They want to do, you know, I was about to say Ceci Selah. My Creole was coming out. They're doing all of these things. That's like, you guys have a couple qualified applicants in there that they can go forward. But to me, it's that they don't want the person that's there. They just need to go ahead and say it and stop being cowards about it. Right? Just go ahead and say it and stop being a coward about it and putting people through all of this rigmarole and have folks sit through and listen to 8 hours of stuff and just basically say you don't want that person to become the next superintendent of school, even though that person is qualified and they should have that position and they know it, but they don't want it for whatever their reasons are. Just say that instead of trying to hide behind process and procedure. And those are my sentiments about that, is that they absolutely know that there's a woman that's very qualified for that position and should have it, but they don't want her. And instead of just saying that, right? Instead of just saying that, they're hiding behind process, procedure, and all of this other foolishness.
A woman who is a wealth of knowledge and has been in the trenches with this district for years.
Right.
Who knows the district back and forth, who knows what needs to get done in order to get the district where it needs to be. But they continue on with, well, we're not doing this. We want to open it up to that person. This person came from, and to me, anytime you have a board that is constantly trying to move the goalposts, that is indicative of how they run the show.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit, because it's not even about moving the goalposts, right? It's not about moving the goalposts. This is straight up twisting yourself in a pretzel to do something that you know ain't right, but trying to make it right.